Times were tough, so I sold my soul. And I don't think I'll ever regain control. Devil looked me in the eye, now I look the other way. What else could I do? I just stared at the doorway and knew I'd rather be drunk with you. I'd rather be drunk.
Hey Internet, Dracofunk here. Welcome back to my Reusable. Let me try that again. Oh my gosh. Hey Internet, Dracofunk here. Welcome back to my Reusable Space Program. This is Season 3, Episode 14, and we are continuing with the space tourism. And we have the SSTO, and it is bringing not quite tourists, it is a load of scientists. And they are going to go out and be transported to the truck stop for now. And they are going to eventually be sent to lands far, far and wide, probably to the Mun. And I think I'm going to send them down to the one of the surface bases. But in the meantime, we have achieved an apoapsis of 100 kilometers or so. It's going to come out to a little bit less than that because of the atmospheric drag. But we should have enough delta V to achieve orbit. Let's see, our apoapsis ended up at 93 kilometers. That's plenty. So, 2 episodes ago, we launched the Space Tourism Ferry. And we've kind of started the first inklings of the Space Tourism program. And the first iteration is the SSTO to get them to orbit. And we now have a stable orbit. We have a docking port. And we do have, we have like 743 units of delta V, which that's enough to actually do some maneuvering. We could probably make it to one of the space stations. But that's not the main goal of the SSTO. The goal of the SSTO is to get the people to orbit. And then we have this ferry that can take them where they need to go. It has several thousand delta V. Like, we're about two-thirds of a tank, and it's 2,000, probably a little bit less than 2/3, and we're over 2,000 delta V. But it will rendezvous and dock with the SSTO. Whoa, there it is. Just do some quick maneuvering. I'm actually going to use the front docking port, so I'm going to have to open the shield. And yeah. Just some quick docking maneuvers here. And get everything lined up. And we are going to transport these 8 scientists to the truck stop. A little bit of in-cockpit view. Alright. Whoop. Maybe not so much. No collisions. Don't want any collisions. Alright. Looking through my orbit. I still have not cleaned up my orbits. So what I'm doing now is I'm trying to get the periapsis to around 35-40 kilometers, and I want it to be a little bit past the KSC. I used to be really good at getting the periapsis where I needed it to be. So, spoiler alert, it is too far into the ocean past the KSC. Last time it was not far enough. But the good news is I have lots of fuel, so I can always just turn around and fly back. Last time I was much too short, and I did not have quite enough fuel to make it there. Alright, so we're coming in, and this is the continent with the KSC. Those are the mountain ranges, and there is the KSC, and I am much too high. Much too high, traveling much too fast. The good news is my velocity is very much decreasing, and I should be able to turn around here shortly once I slow down a little bit and get into a little bit thicker part of the atmosphere where I can actually reliably maneuver. All right. And restart the 3 engines. Getting a little bit lower than I meant to. And I am much further away than I thought I was. But I am now on a return course. Make sure I say that right. And now the trick is not to get too high and not too fast. Alright, get lined up with the runway. Alright, looks like I'm pretty well lined up with the runway. And now I just have to monitor my speed and altitude. My speed is I'm going too fast. I should have cut my engines back. And here's why. Let's do this in real time. I'm not down. And I'm landing about halfway along the runway and with full brakes on. And the thing I've noticed is this SSTO is missing air brakes, and that is a problem. So I have kind of came off the end of the runway, which is not good. In the good news is in KSP, that's not immediately your wheels dig into the grass and you crash, you wreck, something breaks. So that is something. But I would prefer to have stayed on the runway, and I usually can, except for this time. So, yeah. Hey, if you are a new subscriber, thanks for watching. We've gotten several new subscribers over the past week or so. And hey, thanks for watching. And if you're not a subscriber, just hit that subscribe button. We here at Highway 47, we do a lot of things. We all occasionally play some games. I've been doing this reusable space program on and off now for a little while. As you can tell, this is season 3, episode 14. We also Friday nights get together and watch movies and do commentaries. And the first of the month we do a public domain movie that you can just watch on our channel. Occasionally, I think this month we didn't do a public domain movie. We do scary movies for Halloween. But the way it works is if you have the movie, you start it. Well, actually, you start our commentary, and then we tell you when to start the movie. And you can watch along with us. And if that's not your thing, that's cool too. You just watch some of our other gaming content. So I've gotten the SSTO parked, and this is kind of my airport section of the KSC, and there's a refueling truck down there. Our Highway 47 studio, which is upside down for reasons. It's kind of appropriate. I mean, absolutely appropriate for how we do things. Let me shut down the engines. So, we've gotten the SSTO landed. All the scientists are on board the ferry, and it's time to get them to the space truck stop. And we have just over 1,000 Delta V to do so. So we definitely have enough to do this. So now that we have this ferry constructed, I want to build another space tourism ship. This one I want to be more of like a cruise ship that is designed to take tourists around to the Mun. There we go. So we are coming up, and the good news is this space ferry is plenty small and sleek enough to sneak into one of these docking ports for the space truck stop. And there we go. And now let's go to super high speed while we transfer all the scientists over to the passenger compartment. And now let's do all the fueling. And that's kind of the whole point of this like little truck stop is it's a gas station in orbit. So even though I hate the tediousness of the refueling, it is what the space station is here for. And our next step is to actually get... we have another space truck who will be bringing fuel from Minmus to the truck stop. And then everybody can be refueled. I am going to need to launch some more tanks to get to Minmus, because I need at least to be bringing in some monopropellant and some oxidizer. Although I think I'm going to have the other tanker come over and deliver some of its oxidizer. And then the other space truck can also be bringing more fuel in. And speaking of space trucks, this is Space Truck 9. And it has its cargo, its load, is the 2 big empty fuel tanks that will eventually be bringing fuel to the truck stop. And I'm in a dilemma. Is one mining run of the mining ship at Minmus is not quite enough to fill both of these tanks. But it does take a very long time to just do one mining run. So do I get them both mostly filled, or do I do 2 mining runs and get them both completely filled? I think I am aiming for the latter. What I will do is probably in the next episode do the first round of mining runs and get the tanks filled as much as I can, and then launch some new tanks. But that's it for today. So if you haven't, like and subscribe, and catch me next time. Have a good night.